कुंज बिहारी नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा। श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की, निताई गौर सुंदर की, पतित पावन श्रील प्रभुपाद की। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी. We are studying from Granth Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 24, entitled as Chanting the Song Sung by Lord Shiva. Text number 67. Kastvat Vijahati Pandito Yaste Amana Vyayamana Ketana Visankyasmad Gurur Archati Ismayad Vinopapattim Manavas Chaturdasa. Kastva Padabjam Vijahati Pandito Yaste Avamana Vyamana Ketana Visankyasmad Gurur Archati Ismayad Vinopapattim Manavas Chaturdasa. Kastvat Padabjam Vijahati Pandito Yaste Avamana Vyamana Ketana Visankyasmad Gurur Archati Smayad Vinopapattim Manavas Chaturdasa. Kastvat Padabjam Vijahati Pandito Yaste Avamana Vyamana Ketana Visankyasmad Gurur Archadismayad Vinopapattim Manavas Chaturdasa. Kastat Padabjam Vijahati Pandito Yaste Avamana Vyamana Ketana Visankyasmad Gurur Archati Smayad Vinopapattim Manavas Chaturdasa. Kastvat Padabjam Vijahati Pandito Yaste Avamana Vyamana Ketana Visankyasmad Gurur Archati Smayad Vinopapattim Manavas Chaturdasa. Kastva Padabjam Vijahati Pandito Yaste Vyamana Ketana Visankyasmad Gurur Archati Smayad Vinopapattim Manavas Chaturdasa. Word for word meaning: Ka, who, Tvat, your, Padabjam, lotus feet, Vijahati, avoids, Pandita, learned, Ya, who, Te, unto you, Avamana, deriding, Vyamana, decreasing, Ketana, this body, Visankaya, without any doubt, Asmat, our, Guru, spiritual master, father, Archati, worships, Isma, in the past, Yat, that, Vina, without, Upapattim, agitation, Manava, the Manus, Chaturdasa, 14. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. My dear Lord, any learned person knows that unless he worships you, his entire life is spoiled. Knowing this, how could he give up worshipping your lotus feet? Even our father and spiritual master Lord Brahma unhesitatingly worshipped you, and the 14 Manus followed in his footsteps. My dear Lord, any learned person knows that unless he worships you, his entire life is spoiled. Knowing this, how could he give up worshipping your lotus feet? Even our father and spiritual master Lord Brahma unhesitatingly worshipped you, and the 14 Manus followed in his footsteps. Purport. The word Pandita means a wise man. Who is actually a wise man? The wise man is described in Bhagavad Gita 7.19 in this way. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudurlabha. After many births and death, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all deities. Such a great soul is very rare. Thus, when the wise man actually becomes wise after many births and whimsical attempts at self-realization, he surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Such a Mahatma or learned person knows that Krishna Vasudeva is everything. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Learned persons always thinks that life is wasted unless they worship Lord Krishna or becomes his devotee. Srila Rupa Goswami also says that when one becomes an advanced devotee, he understands that he should be reserved and perseverant, shanti, and that he should engage in the service of the Lord and not waste time, avyartha kalatvam. He should also be detached from all material attraction, vikriti, and he should not long for any material respect in return for his activities, man sunyata. He should be certain that Krishna will bestow his mercy upon him, asa bandha, and he should always be eager to serve the Lord faithfully, samutkantha. The wise man is always very eager to glorify the Lord by chanting and hearing, nama gane sada ruchi, and he is always eager to describe the transcendental qualities of the Lord, asaktistat gunakhyane. He should also be attracted to those places where the Lord had his pastimes, Pritistat vasati sthale. These are symptoms of an advanced devotee. An advanced devotee or perfect human being who is actually wise and learned cannot give up his service at the lotus feet of the Lord. Although Lord Brahma has a long lifespan, it's mentioned that 4.32 trillion years constitutes 12 hours in a day of Brahma. Brahma is afraid of death and is consequently engaged in the devotional service of the Lord. Similarly, all the Manus who appear and disappear during the day of Brahma also engages in the Lord's devotional service. In Brahma's one day, 14 Manu appear and disappear. The first Manu is Swambhu Manu. Each Manu lives for 71 yugas. Each consists of 4.32 billion years. Although the Manus have such a long lifespan, they still prepare for the next life by engaging in devotional service of the Lord. In this age, human beings only live for 60 or 80 years, and even this small lifespan is gradually decreasing. Therefore, it is even more imperative for human beings to take the worship of lotus feet of the Lord by constantly chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, as recommended by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tinadapi sunichena taror iva sahishuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari Shikshashtakatri. When one is engaged in devotional service, he is often surrounded by envious people, and often many enemies come to try to defeat him or stop him. This is not new in this present age, for even in the days of yore, Prahlad Maharaj, who was engaged in devotional service of the Lord, was harassed by his demoniac father Hiranyakashipu. The atheists are always prepared to harass a devotee. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu suggested that one be very tolerant of these people. Nonetheless, one has to continue chanting the Hare Krishna mantra and preaching the chanting of this mantra because such preaching and chanting constitute the perfection of life. One should chant and preach about the urgency of making this life perfect in all respects. One should thus engage in devotional service of the Lord and follow in the footsteps of previous acharyas, beginning with Lord Brahma and others. Om Tat Sat Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshudmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam karoti vachalam pankum langyayate girim yatkripatamaham bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Mishwaram. So Prabhupada narrated this small story. There was one scientist. He has to cross a river. So he got a boatman. So boatman was ferrying him across. Then scientist looked at a star and he asked the boatman, do you know about these stars? Then boatman he said, no, I am illiterate, I don't know anything. Then he said, it was 25% life is wasted. In this way, he went little more. Then he asked another question. That boatman, he said, no, I am not educated, I don't know this. Then he said, it's 25%, 50% life is wasted. He went further more. Then he asked another question, something. Then boatman denied, I don't know this. Then he said, your 75% life is wasted. Actually, that day there was a lot of cloud and storm in the sky. And all of a sudden, it started raining very heavily. And boat started filling with the water. And it started sinking. Then this time, boatman asked the scientist, do you know swimming? The scientist said, I don't know. He said, your 100% life is wasted. And he jumped inside, swam and went across. The boatman and the scientist was just drowned. Similarly, in our life, if we may become busy with so many things to acquire, nice degrees, good education, good career, nice name and fame, so many things to make our life more and more physically comfortable. But if we have not done one thing, that we have not prepared for next life, not prepared to cross this ocean of birth and death. At time of death, we will be only regretting. There will be nothing else will be there with us. We will be we will be forced to born in lower species of life, and then we have to go through 84 million species, 84 lakh species, and this way we will lose this opportunity, very good opportunity, being a human being and had a chance to go back to Godhead. So this is the whole thing. Here Lord Shiva is saying about this only. My dear Lord, any learned person knows that unless he worships you, his entire life is spoiled. Knowing this, how could he give up worshipping your lotus feet? And he's saying further, Lord Shiva is further saying, even our father and spiritual master Lord Brahma unhesitatingly worshipped you, and 14 Manus followed in his footsteps. So Lord Shiva, he himself is a great authority, Mahajano yena gata sapanta. But still he is quoting the authority of Lord Brahma, the first living entity, saying that he has worshipped you. And the 14 Manus followed by him, they all worshipped you. So who will be that person who will forget to worship your lotus feet? Who will spoil the opportunity to going back to Godhead, to make his life successful? So Prabhupada is telling that in the purport, Manus and Lord Brahmas, their lifespan is very, very long. For Brahmas, one day it is considered 4.32 billion solar years, our years. And similarly, Manu's lives are also very, very, very long. Though their life is very, very long, but they are not thinking that, oh, towards the end we will see. We will practice bhakti and then we will do something. They are not thinking like this. Only we are thinking, oh, we have got so much time in our disposal. We'll see later. When we will little bit when we have enjoyed, and we have nothing to do, that time we will chant Hare Krishna. Or that time we will do devotional service, or that time we'll try to surrender to Krishna. That's what is going on in our mind. Let me solve now immediate problem. What is immediate problem? Ahar, Nidra, Bhaya, Maithunam. Let me first solve this thing. Bhakti, who is seen? Later we will see. We have got such a small life span. Prabhupada is mentioning it is also day by day decreasing only. You would have seen our grandfather would have lived for 90, 80 years. Then parents will be living for 70, 60 years. We may be living even lesser. So like that, life span is consistently decreasing. And in that small life span, also we are thinking, okay, we'll do it later. What we will be able to accomplish later. Bodily strength will be decreasing, will not have any strength, memory will be going on, and will become absorbed with so many bodily discomforts and so many other things which is constantly going to be more and more tough. Weather is also, you see that is becoming more and more extreme only. Very cold, very hot, very much polluted. So many things going around the world. We will become so much absorbed in this life that we will never worship Krishna. In this short life is there. Prahlad Maharaj is telling, though this is temporary, but this human life is worthy. This human form of life, we can prepare ourselves and go back to Godhead. Especially this human form of life at present, we have been born in a Bharatvarsha, which Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recently appeared. Srila Prabhupada has traveled across the globe and established Krishna consciousness movement. We have such a great opportunity. Just we have to think, we have to align together and just be carefully practice Krishna consciousness. We will go back to Godhead. Very simple. Very great opportunity all of us we have. Everywhere Prabhupada established this movement around the globe. Just 60, 70 years before, people would have been Western countries, European countries, they were never thought about that there is something Krishna consciousness. But now it's available everywhere. People can get Prabhupada books, they can get association of devotees, they can participate in Sankirtan, they can get prasadam. There's so much wonderful opportunities there. And even now we have the social media where people are available to hear anywhere to everybody. So it's a great opportunity we all have. Just we have to become interested. And if you are not going to do this, otherwise also our life is not going to be very pleasant. If we just practice Krishna consciousness, actually we can live a very happy and healthy life. One time one reporter asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, we see that you all are getting up early morning, then you are fasting on some days, you are having, going through some austere life. I have one question, if at time of death, if you come to know that what and all you are doing is not right, how will you feel? Then Prabhupada answered, you see, whatever you are seeing that it is austere externally, but we are all enjoying. We get up early in the morning, we take a fresh bath and we are there in front of the deities and we have a nice time. We all jump and dance and we see how the deities are being worshipped. We feel very refreshed. We are all, mind becomes fresh and we don't have such, we are not troubled by depression or any such mental disease. And we have a good, healthy lifestyle, early to bed, early to rise, makes man healthy, wealthy and wise. We know this. So we go to bed early, we have a nice food, everything prepared first class, offered to the Lord. We are staying with nice people, we have nice philosophy, hearing nice music. So everything is good, and we could not enjoy our life more than this. Its full extent, actually, we are feeling very happy and satisfied. Any one of our people you can ask. Then Prabhupada turned back and asked, "Oh, I'll ask you one question. You are living all this glamorous life, which you are constantly uh, feel unsecured. What is going to happen next? You're so much insecure, uh, and so much bodily discomforts you're going through, so much troubles you have, both mental and physical. So all hard work you're doing day and night. I ask you on this thing, at time of death, if you find that this what we are doing is right, what you will do? Because you're never interested in doing this. You always rejected this. At time of death, if you know this, what we are doing is right, what you will do? Then this reporter's face became very small. So actually what we are doing is, we are following great authorities, Lord Shiva, Manu, Brahma. We see in the Guru Parampara, starting from Lord Brahma, Narada, Vyasadeva, Madhvacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Saksis Goswamis, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srinivasacharya, Narottam Das Thakur, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, all great personalities. They are all pure-hearted, great souls. They are not intended to cheat people. They have some valuable message. They have experienced something much more real, and therefore they have asked us to practice this. And we can also utilize our intelligence, and we can see that whatever they are saying is makes sense. That we are not the body, we are soul. It makes so much of sense. We change our body in this life itself, but we always remain the same. So we are soul, and who has created this world is not can never come by chance. Who is controlling this? Who is running this? So all there is a supreme authority. Chetno Chetna Chetnasna. Say that Nityo Nityanam Chetnas Chetnanam. So there is one supreme living entity, supreme conscious being, and there is innumerable living entities and conscious being. So we all practically seeing each other, and we can see around the world, and we can come to this very natural conclusion that Iswara Parama Krishna, there is supreme controller who is Krishna. All authorities, so many great personalities saying, Vedas are saying, which have been time tested. So it's very easy to come to this conclusion. And they are all saying, because they don't have any material aspirations. They're just saying with lot of compassion. So we can very easily come to understand our spiritual reality, and we can wake up to that. Instead of wasting our time and missing out this great opportunity, this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has made it much more easier. Earlier, people in Satyuga has to perform austerities for so many thousands of years. Then after that, they have to do yajna, homa. It's not very easy to sit down even to do yajna. We have a yajna here for 3 hours. We are thinking when it will get over. We are not. It's very difficult to for months together to sit down and perform yajna sacrifices. And worshipping deities is also not so easy. There's so much cleanliness, punctuality. So many things are required to worship properly. Very simple. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has offered a very simple way to all of us. Just simply chant and dance and take prasadam. So simply, just that we have to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. And we have to perform kirtan, jump and dance, and when we feel tired, take prasadam. So this is so simple, and this very sublime is easy. We enjoy this by performing this, and this is the best of purificatory activities. Yesterday I was reading that dana, tapa, swadhyaya, then cultivating knowledge. There are so many ways. One actually gets purified. Means kama, krodha, lobha, all these things inside the heart. Avidya is their ignorance, the forgetfulness of the Lord. It's all, by all doing all these things, one becomes cleared of these things, it becomes purified. But they cannot even purify as compared as a drop what actually engagement in devotional service purifies person. When we are engaged in devotional service, when we are engaged in chanting, hearing, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Pada Sevanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Mahatma, as Prahlad Maharaj is telling, when we are engaged in devotional service, this purification is much more greater and much more faster than all other processes as mentioned in the Vedas. Charity, giving charity on lunar or solar eclipse day, or taking bath in different rivers, going around yatras or this thing. This doesn't purify so much. What devotional service actually purifies. We have a practical, we discuss about Ajamila's incident, that how sinful he was, and just accidentally he chanted. First time itself he was purified. Uh, for thousands of his lifetimes. Whatever sin he has committed, all that was completely eradicated. His account became nil. So this is such a wonderful process we have. Just by engaging ourselves in devotional service, we get rid of all these anarthas. And there's a great opportunity for us to go back to Godhead. That past times we saw that how even Yamaraj has given the standing instructions to his followers, Yamadutas, that never go nearby people who are chanting the holy name of the Lord. If they chanted holy name of the Lord, you should not go nearby. So, so we should not actually postpone this, that okay, we'll keep it for next life, and with that time we will see. This is life, a very short time we have, and in this we have a great opportunity. Within this short time, we can all together become free from this samsara mala, all these unwanted things in this material world. So this in purport, Prabhupada is telling that after many births and death, who is actually in knowledge, surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes, and that is such a great soul is very rare. Such a Mahatma or learned person knows that Krishna Vasudeva is everything. So Prabhupada is characterizing about learned person. What is his characteristics? How does he spend his time? Prabhupada is writing, learned persons always think that life is wasted unless they worship Lord Krishna or becomes his devotee. Srila Rupa Goswami also says that when one becomes an advanced devotee, he understands that he should be reserved and perseverant, shanti. So, doesn't waste his time. He is introspective. He is thinking what should be done, what should not be done. He is careful. So, there are different characteristics Prabhupada is mentioning in this purport. Practically all these things are against my characteristics. But all this we can see in the life of Srila Prabhupada. It is very effulgence. We can easily find out that Shanti. Then he should engage in the service of Lord and not waste time. Avyartha kalatvam. Everything, every single moment of time is actually utilized in the service of the Lord. It's like a student is preparing for exam, is very careful not to waste his time. He doesn't spend his time for going playing or watching movies, and he spares his time so that he can focus and study, because he has to write the exam. He has to cover the portion. So similarly, devotee, they don't want to waste their time. Small life, this particular lifetime is very small, and why one should miss the opportunity to serve the Lord. So said mentioned that another quality of a learned person is he doesn't waste his time and engages in all the time in service of the Lord. Avyartha kalatvam. He should also be detached from all material attraction. Virakti. So different material attraction, uh, like newspaper reading, social media, or just gossiping, or so many other ways we can waste our time, or we can get attached to that. All these things seems to be uh, seems to be pleasing, but all this is unnecessarily attachment. This going to uh, all different material attractions. So one keep himself detached from all these things. This is how a person is characterized as a learned person. Only a person who is not learned, who is fool, will spend his lifetime for all these things, because this is all useless. This is not going to bring any spiritual result. So first thing we saw that Prabhupada is telling Shanti. Shanti means he is reserved, introspective, preservant. Then second thing is doesn't waste his time, avyartha kalatvam. And third thing is detaches himself from material attraction, virakti. And uh, further Prabhupada is telling that mana sunyata, he should not long for any material respect in return for his activities. So man sunyata. So these things we have to cultivate. Man sunyata. He should not long for any material respect in return for his activities. He should be certain that Krishna will bestow his mercy upon him. Asa bandha. He should always be eager to serve the Lord faithfully. Very eager to serve the Lord. Samut kantha. One should be very eager to serve the Lord. We are all very tightly chained by fruitive results for so many lifetimes. Very, very difficult to become free from this chain. Very difficult. But devotee remains very hopeful. Yes, the surely Lord will show his mercy upon me. And uh, is very eager to serve faithfully the Lord, understanding that by serving the Lord uh, is easy to become free from all this bondage, and surely one day the Lord will bestow his mercy. You can see how we are seeing the uh, Kuvera's two sons, Nila Kuvera and Manigriva. They all, for a very long time, they were in the tree form, and the Lord, how he delivered them. He just looked at them and he felt, oh, my dear devotee has put them in this form so that they can see me, and I must deliver them now. So the Lord delivered actually to both of them. So these devotees are very, very positive. They're thinking that surely the Lord one day will glance His mercy upon me, and they are very, very eager to serve the Lord. Samutkantha, very, very eager to serve the Lord, faith. And then wise man is always very eager to glorify the Lord by chanting and hearing Nama Gane Sada Ruchi. So this is our characteristics of wise man. Chanti, he is very reserved and preservant, doesn't waste his time. Avyartha kalatvam, he detaches himself from the material attraction. Virakti, mana sunyata, asa bandha, samutkantha, Then namagane sada ruchi. And further Prabhupada is telling that is always eager to describe the transcendental qualities of the Lord. Asaktis tad gunakhyane. Very eager to glorify or describe the transcendental qualities of the Lord. He should always be attracted to those places where the Lord had his pastimes. Pitis tad vasati sthane. So these are all the symptoms of an advanced devotee. So in conclusion, Prabhupada is saying that one should be very careful this human form of life and focus on practicing devotional service. One should focus on chanting Hare Krishna, and how one can do that, how one can focus. This Prabhupada is quoting that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said, Thinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahisuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. We should always chant the holy name of the Lord, Kirtaniya Sadahari. And one should learn to be tolerant, more tolerant than a tree, and more humbler than a grass, and should not expect any uh, respect, and should willing to give all the respect to everybody. So this how we should prepare ourselves to focus in our real business of life, to always be engaged in chanting holy name, to be always engaged in devotional service, because it's going to matter for us. Very short time we have, and if we are focused, we can make it. We can go back to Godhead, we can develop loving sentiment, and we can remain very happy and satisfied within ourselves. So in this is a prayer of Lord Shiva, and uh, he is highlighting this point on the authority of Lord Brahma, Manus, and is saying that no wise man will give up worshipping your lotus feet. Uh, Sometimes no little disturbance will be there, and we'll be thinking, oh, let me stop my service, or let me uh, discontinue. But that all is that should not be an excuse, because after all it's going to affect our goal of life. So we should be very careful. Therefore, this is a particular sloka Prabhupada is quoting, that we should be very tolerant. Because very short lifetime we have, why we should lose the focus? We should focus and practice our Krishna consciousness and go back to Godhead. Why we should why we should affect our devotional service because of so and so, so and so situation or so and so person? This cannot disturb, should not disturb our devotional service. Especially we should practice to chant the holy name of the Lord all the time. And Prabhupada is quoting, there's so many qualities one should cultivate so that he advances in bhakti. Ganta Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Patit Panch Prabhupada ki jai.